All right, so get this. Today, we are going to be diving deep into print on demand for making money online.
Okay.
We've got all sorts of research and articles, even case studies about people doing this stuff. And let's be real, who hasn't dreamed of like selling their own designs, making a little side hustle without having to deal with like boxes and shipping labels and all that?
Right. I mean, it's a model that's really taken off, and for good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, the barrier to entry is so low compared to like traditional retail.
Absolutely. We're talking about creating your own products.
Right.
Like apparel, mugs, whatever. But you're only actually getting them made when someone orders it.
Yeah.
No upfront inventory costs is huge.
Yeah, it really shifts the risk, right? You're not sitting there with a garage full of t-shirts.
Right.
If your design doesn't sell, you only pay for what's ordered.
Okay, so walk us through how this works in practice.
Okay.
Let's say I've got this killer design ready to go. What are my next steps?
So you'd want to connect with a print-on-demand company. And they're basically your silent partner who handles all the production and all the shipping.
Okay.
There are tons of them out there, each with their own pros and cons.
Hold on. Before we get into like the specifics of choosing one, I want to make sure I understand this from the customer's perspective.
Okay.
They see my design, let's say in my online store. What happens next?
So they place an order just like on any e-commerce website.
Okay.
Their payment goes through, and this is where the magic happens. Behind the scenes, that order is automatically sent to your print-on-demand partner.
Oh, so I don't have to manually email someone like, hey, print this mug and ship it to this person.
Right, exactly. It's all automated.
Okay.
The print company charges you their base price for the product, handles the printing, packaging, and ships it directly to the customer.
Wow.
You literally have touched nothing but your computer.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, but now I'm thinking, if they're taking a cut, how do I even make sure I'm making money? Like, where's the profit in all this?
Right. Well, that's where smart pricing comes in and understanding your costs.
Okay.
So let's break down a simple example.
Okay.
You sell a t-shirt for $25. And the print-on-demand company's base price for that shirt is $10.
Okay.
Including printing.
So right off the bat, I'm making $15. Not bad.
Yeah, but remember that $15 needs to cover more than just the product itself.
Oh, right.
You've got platform fees, potentially, marketing costs.
Right. Like if I'm running ads to get people to my store, okay, so that $15 shrinks pretty quickly.
Exactly. You need to factor in all those expenses to determine your true profit margin.
Okay.
And that's where choosing the right print-on-demand partner and setting up your store strategically become crucial.
Okay, so let's talk about those print-on-demand companies.
Right.
I've heard names like Printify, Printful, Gelato. What's the lowdown on those, and how do I choose the right one?
Okay, so those are some of the biggest players in the game, each with their own strengths.
Yep.
Printify, for example, is known for its massive network of printing partners worldwide. That means you have a huge range of product options, and you can often find really competitive prices.
So if I'm going for variety, or maybe I'm trying to keep my costs down, Printify might be a good option.
Yeah.
What about Printful? What makes them stand out?
Printful's often praised for its very user-friendly interface. They also have very high-quality printing and fast shipping times.
Okay.
They also have some cool branding options like custom packaging and labels, which can really help you build a recognizable brand identity.
Okay, that's a good point, especially if you're trying to build, a long-term business.
Right.
What about Gelato? They seem to be getting a lot of buzz lately. What's their deal?
Gelato has a big focus on sustainability, which is a growing concern for a lot of consumers these days.
Yeah.
And they offer a good selection of eco-friendly products.
Okay.
They're also known for their global network of production partners, which helps with shipping times and reducing that environmental impact.
Okay, so if someone's really passionate about, eco-conscious practices, Gelato might be the perfect fit. It's pretty cool how each of these companies kind of caters to a different need.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, how do these print-on-demand partners actually connect with my online store?
Right.
Is it a manual process? Like every time someone orders something, I have to go in and...
That's where platforms like Shopify come in. Shopify is a leading e-commerce platform, and the beauty of it is the seamless integration with print-on-demand apps.
Wait, so you're saying I don't have to copy and paste orders between platforms?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
Once you've got your Shopify store set up, you can simply install the print-on-demand app of your choice.
Okay.
Say Printify, Printful, or Gelato directly from the Shopify App Store, and boom, they're connected.
Cool.
Orders get sent automatically, no manual intervention needed.
Okay, let me make sure I'm picturing this right.
Sure.
The customer orders from my Shopify store.
Yeah.
That triggers the order to the print-on-demand app.
Exactly.
And then they take it from there.
Yeah.
I literally just sit back and collect my profits.
Pretty much it's all about setting up those systems to work for you so you can focus on the creative side of things.
Okay.
Like designing, marketing, building your brand. That's where the real long-term value lies.
Okay, so we've got our designs. We've picked our print-on-demand partner. We've got our Shopify store ready to go.
Yeah.
Now we need to get people actually buying, right?
Yeah.
That's where things get tricky.
Yeah, you're right. Marketing is a whole beast in itself.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation for part 2.
Okay.
First, we need to make sure you've got the right products, the right designs,
Right.
and a profit margin that actually makes this whole thing worthwhile.
Okay, so before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about what kinds of products are even popular for print-on-demand.
Right.
It's not just T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen some pretty wild stuff out there.
You're absolutely right. T-shirts are classic, but the possibilities go way beyond that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen everything from phone cases and mugs to tote bags, blankets, even custom skateboard decks.
Yeah. Skateboard decks, really. Okay, so it sounds like the product possibilities are practically limitless.
Yeah.
But how do you know what will actually sell? I can't just slap my design on every product imaginable, can I?
That's where niche targeting comes in.
Okay.
And we'll dive deep into that in part 2, so stay tuned. Picking the right products is key, and it ties directly back into, like, finding your niche.
Right.
And this is where a lot of people, they kind of trip up. They think, oh, cute cat designs. Everybody loves cats. But, you know,
right.
That's so broad, you're just going to get lost in a sea of competition.
Right. It's like, how do you narrow it down? I'm guessing market research is involved, but where do you even begin?
It often starts with, like, introspection.
Okay.
Like, think about your own passions, your own hobbies.
Okay.
The communities you're a part of. What are you knowledgeable about, right?
Okay.
Where do you see those gaps in the market?
So let's say I'm like really into vintage sci-fi books.
Okay.
Would that be a niche?
It could be, but you need to validate that. Okay.
Are there enough people who are also passionate about vintage sci-fi books to sustain a business?
Okay.
What kind of products would they be interested in? You know,
right.
Mugs with classic book covers, T-shirts with quotes.
Yeah, I've seen those like book lover tote bags everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's kind of generic though, right?
Exactly. You need to go deeper.
Okay.
Maybe it's tote bags specifically designed to fit vintage paperbacks with like slogans that only true fans would get.
Okay.
That's where you stand out.
Okay. I'm starting to see how niche selection is as much about passion as it is, you know, business savvy.
Right.
But let's say I've nailed down my niche. I've got some like killer designs.
Okay.
How do I actually get people to buy this stuff?
Yeah.
I can't just like list it and hope for the best.
Right. That's where marketing comes in.
Okay.
And in the online world, it's a multifaceted beast.
Right.
Social media is a natural fit for print on demand.
Okay.
Especially if you're trying to target, you know, younger demographic. Yeah, I've seen those Instagram ads.
Yeah.
Like those like perfectly styled photos of people wearing these like cool T-shirts. It definitely catches your eye.
Absolutely. Platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, they're all about visuals.
All right.
It's a perfect way to like showcase your designs, the lifestyle they represent. You know, you can collaborate with influencers. You can run targeted ads.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I've seen these ads for AI design tools.
Okay.
Do those actually work for print on demand or are they just hype?
You know, some of them are surprisingly good.
Really?
Especially for like generating design ideas or tweaking existing ones.
Oh.
But remember, the real magic is in your unique concept, not just the execution.
Right. So it's a tool, not a replacement for actual creativity.
Exactly.
But social media is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Right.
What about things like search engine optimization, SEO?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a whole other language.
SEO is crucial for getting your store and your products found when people search for things online. Right. It involves things like using the right keywords in your product descriptions.
Okay.
Building backlinks.
Oh, okay. That sounds a bit technical. Are there resources out there to help with that? Or do I need to like hire an SEO expert?
There are tons of resources available online.
Okay.
Shopify even has built-in SEO tools and guides. You don't need to be a coding wizard to get started.
Cool. That's a relief. But even if I'd like master SEO and social media and all that.
Yeah.
What if my profit margins are so slim that it's barely worth the effort?
Right. Well, that's why pricing strategically is so crucial.
Okay.
You've got to factor in your base costs, the product itself, the printing,
Uh-huh.
plus your marketing spend, platform fees, and then you need to add a markup that's competitive, but also allows for a healthy profit.
Okay, so it's a balancing act.
It is.
But what if I'm selling a mug for $20
Okay.
and my competitor is selling a similar mug
Yeah.
for $15?
Yeah.
How do I convince people to pay more?
That's where branding comes in.
Okay.
You know, if you've built a strong brand identity, a loyal following,
Yeah.
people are often willing to pay a premium for products that align with their values.
So it's not just about the product itself.
No.
It's about the story, the experience you're selling.
Exactly. And that's where things like high-quality product photography,
Right.
compelling product descriptions, excellent customer service, all those things come into play. It's about creating a brand experience that justifies that higher price point.
Okay, so we've covered marketing, pricing, branding.
Yeah,
It's a lot to juggle.
it is.
But I'm guessing there are even more challenges lurking beneath the surface of this print-on-demand world.
Oh, absolutely.
What are some things people might not expect? Things that could trip them up?
One thing people often underestimate is the importance of customer service.
Yeah.
When you're relying on a third party for production and shipping,
Mm-hmm.
things can go wrong.
Like what? Like a misprinted design or like a delayed shipment?
Exactly.
Okay.
And you're the one who has to deal with the frustrated customer.
Right.
So having a system in place for handling those issues quickly and professionally is crucial.
So even if it's not directly your fault, you're the face of the brand.
Right.
That makes sense. What else should people be prepared for?
Competition.
Okay.
It's fierce in the print-on-demand world.
Right.
You need to constantly be innovating, coming up with fresh designs,
Okay.
finding new ways to stand out.
It's like the entrepreneurial version of survival of the fittest.
Yeah,
Only the most creative and adaptable will thrive.
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to stay informed about emerging trends, new technologies, and shifts in consumer behavior.
So it's not a set it and forget it kind of business.
Right.
You need to constantly be evolving.
Absolutely. And that's what makes it exciting.
Yes.
It's a dynamic, ever-changing landscape full of opportunities for those who are willing to embrace the challenge.
Okay, I'm feeling pumped, but I'm also realizing there's a lot more to this than meets the eye.
Right.
We've talked about the practicalities, the marketing, the challenges.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about the ethical side of things.
Okay.
Is there anything specific to print on demand that people should be mindful of?
That's a great question, and one that's often overlooked. We've covered so much ground already.
Right.
But ethical considerations are crucial for building a sustainable and responsible business.
Okay.
And that's a conversation we need to dive into.
All right. Sounds like we've got even more to unpack. Bring on part 3. All right, so we talked about the mechanics of print on demand and the marketing side of things and even some of the challenges that could pop up. But now I'm curious about the ethical side of things.
Right.
What makes print on demand ethically tricky?
Well, I think it all comes down to responsibility, right?
Okay.
You're essentially putting your name on a product that you didn't physically make. So that means making sure the companies you're working with are treating their workers fairly, using sustainable practices.
So it's not enough to just pick a print partner based on price or, what products they have.
Yeah.
I actually need to do some digging into how they operate.
Yeah. I mean, luckily, a lot of print-on-demand companies are pretty transparent about this now.
Okay.
They'll highlight things like fair wages,
Right, okay.
safe working conditions, eco-friendly inks, and materials.
If those are deal breakers for me,
Yeah.
those are things I can look for when choosing a partner.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to reach out to these companies directly. If you can't find that info on their website,
Okay.
ask about their supply chains, their certifications, all that good stuff.
That's a good point. It's voting with your wallet,
Right.
supporting businesses that align with your values.
Exactly.
Okay. But what about the designs themselves? We talked about copyright earlier.
Yeah.
But are there other ethical considerations there?
It's not just about avoiding plagiarism, right?
Right.
Think about the messages your designs are sending.
Okay.
Are you appropriating cultures?
Right.
Are you promoting harmful stereotypes?
Oh, right. Like those T-shirts with offensive slogans or designs that, make light of serious issues.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's easy to kind of overlook those things when you're caught up in, the excitement of creating.
Right. Take a step back and think about the potential impact of your designs.
Okay.
Are they inclusive?
Yeah.
Are they respectful?
Mm-hmm.
Is it something that you'd be proud to see someone wearing in public?
Okay, so ethical design is about more than just aesthetics. It's about social responsibility too.
Absolutely.
What about like transparency with customers? Is there an ethical angle there as well?
Transparency is huge. I mean, be upfront about where your products are made,
Okay.
what materials are used, how long shipping takes.
Especially now with like supply chain issues being so common, people are more aware of where things come from.
Right, exactly. Don't try to hide the fact that you're using a print-on-demand service.
Okay.
Customers appreciate honesty, even if it means slightly longer wait times.
Right. It's about setting realistic expectations and building trust
Yeah.
rather than trying to portray yourself as something you're not.
Exactly. And that honesty extends to your marketing as well.
Okay.
Don't make, outlandish promises about overnight shipping
Right.
or ridiculously low prices just to get a sale.
So ethical marketing is about authenticity, not just hype.
Right.
Okay, I'm realizing ethics kind of touches every aspect of this business.
Yeah.
From choosing your partner to designing your product to how you even interact with customers.
Yeah, it's all interconnected.
Yeah.
Building an ethical print-on-demand business isn't about, checking boxes, right?
Right.
It's about making conscious choices at every step of the way.
We've covered a ton of ground today.
Oh, yeah.
From the nuts and bolts of, how print-on-demand works to the marketing and now this crucial ethical dimension. Yeah. I feel like I have a much clearer picture of what it actually takes to build a successful and responsible print-on-demand business.
It's definitely a journey, but one with incredible potential.
Yeah.
And, by keeping these ethical considerations in mind,
Yeah.
you can create a business you're truly proud of.
Right.
One that resonates with your values and makes a positive impact on the world.
I love that. It's not just about profit, it's about purpose.
Exactly.
So for anyone out there listening, feeling inspired, feeling ready to dive into the world of print-on-demand,
Yeah.
what's the one piece of advice you'd leave them with?
I would say start with passion,
Okay.
Find that niche that truly excites you, that aligns with your values, because that passion will fuel you through the challenges, the late nights, the inevitable setbacks.
Yeah.
And when you're doing something you love, something you believe in, success becomes so much sweeter.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's a wrap on our deep dive into print-on-demand. We've covered a lot, but remember, this is just the beginning. There's a whole world of resources out there waiting for you. Do your research experiment. And most importantly, don't be afraid to take that first step.
And remember, we're always here to help you along the way.
Right. Until next time, keep diving deep